first episode of Councillors Live. I'm Jodianne Freckleton, your PRO and host for this segment. Now this segment is to speak to your guild councillors about the work they've been doing and to ask them questions that students want to know information about. Now today on our program we have Jamie James, who is the Culture and Entertainment Affairs Chairperson. So hi Jamie.
Hi Jody, what's up?
Alright, so the students want to know, right? As CAC, have you introduced new cultural events and how successful were they?
Well, yeah, as CAC, I've recently introduced a new cultural event, and it was very, very successful in my estimation. I think the students gravitated to it. It gave us a very tremendous response, and the only problem we had was that the police came and close it off early, which was really bad, because I'm saying if we're doing something different for once, then why not? We had Fab Five come in and a host of other culturally oriented artists. It's not exactly how I wanted it to go though, because I was thinking of doing a massive event, but unfortunately the budget wasn't there. But with the stepping stone of this year's event, next year I think we should be able to do the same event, or if not better, based on the fact that we'll have something to actually approach the sponsors with.
Okay, so do you think that there's a balance now with culture and entertainment? Because I've heard in previous years people complain about the CAC focusing just on entertainment.
Not just yet, Jody. I don't think that there's a balance just now, but at the same time there is a start. It is a start, and I think that from now going forward we will actually build on it. So I would hope that the CAC that is incoming will now build on what I've done before, and we can see if we can take it to another level, whereas we can try to find that balance.
Okay, so the next question, you mentioned the police closing off the culture event early. Now a lot of people, especially the halls who use their parties to fundraise, have a problem with this new 2 a.m. cutoff time. You have any thoughts on that? What's the problem? We need to know. Well, I guess you would know.
Well, my thoughts on that is very clear. Whereas I think that some amount of discretion can be allowed, because or the police can use their conscience when they're actually here. The law was put in place based on the fact that people would have events close to residential areas. Now, there are times that we're doing events here, and realistically speaking, it doesn't really affect anybody based on how we position the speakers in the union. Because if we position the speakers facing front, which is the entrance of the union, it affects nobody at 3 a.m. in the morning, because nobody lives within 100 feet. And all you have to do is turn down the speakers. Now the police exercise, as far as I'm concerned, no, they exercise absolutely no discretion on this matter. And so it becomes very annoying, and at times we as Jamaicans have now developed a culture of coming to parties late. I really don't know why. But at 2 a.m. is when the party is actually building up and it actually has a real vibe. And to just know that the police is coming to turn it off, and they don't use any form of discretion.
Is there a reason though? Is there a reason why they don't use any form of discretion? Because they probably had bad experiences. Do you think that we as students were disrespectful to them, or some reason why they won't show discretion?
I've asked this question 1,001 times, because it has affected me and other CACs, hall CACs, block CACs had reason to ask me to query. And I'm yet to get a solid reason from the police. They're telling me about stuff that happened way back in the days, which quite frankly no, I don't think is applicable, because it was different systems were put in place, and we now use more security than the events that used to go on back in the days. So I think that we have a better control of the events now, rather than back in the days when we never used to use security at all.
Okay, so the topic of the semester, the thing that we look forward to most, Carnival. What is going to be different about Carnival 2012?
Well, first and foremost, for Carnival 2012, I know the hot topic last year was the fact that Juve was muddy and it wasn't good, and the fencing and all of these complaints. Now what we have done is that we have learned from our mistakes. So I've spoken to last year's CAC, and I've met with my committee members, and I've met with various members of the guild that actually has a say, and we said, okay, fine, what we can do this year is to actually move the venue for Juve. Now what we have done is that we've gotten donations from Seaboard Freights, which is going to donate 8 containers. So we'll actually turn the lawns facing the Union into the venue for Juve.
Will there be an issue with paint there? Because I know we had an issue with paint in the Union.
There was an issue with paint in the Union based on the fact that when the paint gets on the walls, then it would stain them. We have no issue at all. No, we have no issue at all with paint because the containers can be painted. They don't have, Seaboard has no problem because they're saying that they can wash it off. And then the lawns out front, nobody is, the registrar has no problem with paint being on the lawns. And it is body paint, so it can wash off.
Okay, very interesting. So, anything else? What about the beach party,
well,
Ring Road? What
before we go on to the beach party and Ring Road, I must mention that this year's Juve, it should be drinks inclusive.
Wow.
Yeah, for the first time. So we'll be trying it. We'll be seeing how well it will work, so that in future we can know whether or not we can do it for parties and not just Juve, but to actually extend that to other parties that keep on campus.
Will there be a season ban? Very important question.
We are trying to accommodate the season ban, and the season ban will be limited. So it won't be more than 500 season bans.
Okay. Well, thank you, Jamie James. Your questions were answered. If not, you can still visit our website, www.uimonaguild.com, and you can tweet us at uimonaguild. We'll respond. That was Councillors Live.
Wind your bottom, wind your bottom, wind your bottom, wind your bottom. All on the ground, all on the ground, all on the ground, girl. All on the ground, all on the fence, all on the fence, all on the bonnet and the car and the Benz. Girl, squeeze up the book, they go deal with the friends. Many girls different in a bed and dip in a dance. Wine on the bouncer, wine on the, wine on the, wine on the bouncer. You think we done? Wine on the counter, wine on the counter, and the bartender. Every girl pull up on a DJ spot. Every girl wanna know a DJ hot, and every woman wanna give a DJ whack. Every girl wanna give a DJ. Ooh, baby come bubble and a DJ.